Here's another quick recipe for you. We're going to do garlic and pork chops. First, we're going to start talk about garlic. You'll notice North American garlic tends to be where you can get the red garlic. No, it's not red inside; it's white. So nice and easy to peel. Peel that off. Chop up the garlic pretty fine, and then we're going to get a stack of pork chops here, and we'll get those ready. So these are local pork chops. They're frozen, but really, really high quality stuff. And we're going to take these pork chops, and they're frozen. We're going to put them in a plastic bag, and we'll talk to that in a second. So in our pork chops that are frozen, we're going to put them in the bag, and we're going to introduce a 1/4 cup of salt. I know that's going to drive people crazy when they see that. And a 1/4 cup of white sugar. That's going to be the next thing we're going to add. Here's our white sugar. It's a little difficult for me to do this one-handed and do it. So 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of white salt, and see if you can guess the next ingredient. The secret ingredient is a can of beer. I got a tall can of beer. It doesn't have to be a tall can. We're going to introduce that into the sugar and the salt. Then we're going to put equal amounts of water into this brine mixture. So we've got 1/4 cup of salt, 1/4 cup of sugar, a can of beer, and equal amounts of water. Squeeze out as much of the the air as you can, and then we're going to pop this in the fridge, and we're going to leave it overnight for about 8 hours. The miracle of time lapse. Here we are 8 hours later, and we've got our brine mixture, which was 1/4 cup of salt, 1/4 cup of white sugar, and a tall boy of beer and equal amount of water, and we brined that for about 8 hours. We're now going to take some freshly chopped garlic. Haven't fine chopped. It's fairly thin, trying to get as much garlic flavor exposed, but haven't chopped it super fine. And then we're going to take that mixture. We're going to take 2 cans of mushroom soup, and we're going to put this in a slow cooker for 6 hours. What I like to do on the mushroom soup side is put a bit of mushroom soup, about half the can on the bottom. Then we're going to take those pork chops out of the brine. We're not going to wash them off, but we're not going to put the brine in. We're just going to put the pork chops in here. Then we're going to put pork chops, 2 pork chops or 3 in the bottom. Then we're going to put some mushroom soup on top, more pork chops, and so on and so on. And as we're putting in mushroom soup in the layers, we're also going to put some garlic in between them as we go. On the question of what mushroom soup, I prefer Campbell's, but you can put whatever you want in here. Your homemade mushroom soup, whatever it is you want to use. I like the Campbell's mushroom soup, so that's what I go with. On the top of the dish, or on top of the mushrooms and pork chops, we're going to take some Clamato pitted olives, which are really nice and salty, nice taste to them. We're going to chop them up fine. We're going to put those in that mixture of mushroom soup and garlic. There they look up chopped. And the idea of the olives is a little salty. It's a little bit of an ingredient in there. It's almost a hint. It's not trying to overpower your pork chops and garlic. I mean, the garlic's got so on. It's just like a little background hint of flavor in it that's going to give somebody this is what's in this. It's sort of unusual. Also in the background flavor thing, a little bit of soy sauce, about 1 tablespoon of soy sauce I put in with the base mixture of the mushrooms and mushroom soup and some garlic. I'm not going to continue that all the way through, just leave that in the bottom. And the last one, this calls under, he didn't really just do that, and I'll show it because people will go, he didn't really do that. A 1/4 cup of black coffee. Yep, So you just saw that black coffee into the bottom mixture. And yes, I mixed it around. So it almost looks like a, I don't know, a soup type thing. But it's going to have a hint of that coffee in with the mushrooms. And it doesn't really overpower it. Just a quarter cup. That's all you need.